I just want to start this off by saying to the two people that care, I know this is a day late. I apologize, but I'm not going to let this hiccup stop me from continuing weekly on Mondays. Hello everyone, and welcome to week 2 of life commentary with visual stimulus in the form of a Minecraft survival world. My name is Ben Dane, and today I will be talking about the attaining, obsessing, and properly purchasing of things. For me, this topic means a lot as I look back on my journey of trials and errors attempting to start YouTube. After a few attempts, I notice a pattern in myself. Each and every time I would fail, I would convince myself, okay, all I need is this one thing and I'll have everything I need to start a successful YouTube career. And it started off innocent enough, with things I genuinely needed such as a decent computer, a microphone, and so on. But then I kept going. I needed PC accessories, a better mic, and so many other things that failed to produce the results I desired. And this is the exact issue I'll be touching on today. How easily we go to things to solve our issues when in reality, they're often not the problem at all. Back in 2020, I started this channel. At that point, I had a different username, a horrible mic, and I had to use my brother's PC to record. But back then, this was enough. And deep down, although I truly love the setup I have now, I do miss the old days of not caring as much about equipment. Over the years, I would try 3 separate times to get this channel going, but each time I failed and proceeded to amass more things. I thought this would help me make better videos, but in reality, it had little to no effect on my content. At the end of the day, the equipment I bought, whether it be a fancy mic, my own PC, or even a good camera for webcam that I never use, they're all good things, but none of them can fix my problems. And none of them can make me good content. And this affects way more people than just me. I believe a lot of people struggle with this. It's easy, after all, to blame something you can fix with a little money, like poor equipment. But in the end, that's rarely the deeper issue. The hardest thing for humans to be is content. We're constantly striving for bigger and better things, which is the main factor behind our progress as a species. But this same desire for more can kill us in the little things. Too often, it leaves us unsatisfied with what we have. Looking back on it, I never needed fancy things to start YouTube. Nobody starts off with professional equipment. The real issue was that I lacked the confidence in what I was doing to make it anywhere. If all I had today was my trusty $20 mic setup and my brother's PC, I could still make the content I wanted if I simply ignored my excuses and pushed on. But there is another side to this. Sometimes equipment really is holding us back from doing what we set out to do, especially when starting out. You can't just buy the cheapest things on the market lest your content will suck. And this is where you have to really think about what's important. At that point, it's all about prioritization and getting away with what you can afford. But this leads into the debate of how much should I spend on things before it's not worth it? Unfortunately, there's no easy answer to this. It all depends on what you can do with the things you want to get. For example, let's talk about something I know an unholy amount on. Microphones. A lot of people, myself included, like to blame a bad mic as a reason for bad content. And to an extent, this is true. A cheap mic almost always sounds like a cheap mic. For something like this, I would try to balance cheap versus expensive and pick something in between. For starting out, a $200 microphone is probably too expensive for most people, but you don't want to settle for a super cheap $10 option that sounds worse than your phone's built-in mic. For most people, they would simply look on Amazon and find a mic with good reviews and call it a day. This is bad, because not every microphone is made the same. And this applies to everything you buy. It's never just as simple as picking a price and calling it good. When it comes to buying equipment for anything, I highly recommend researching it first. Quite often, you'll be surprised at how good a cheaper option is compared to an expensive item. If I were to start over from scratch, I can easily think of both things I would go cheaper on as well as things I would spend more on. But at the end of the day, you don't have to spend a lot to get good quality, and you don't have to settle for poor quality by saving money. This very analysis of balance between cheap versus expensive is something I wish I understood back in my early YouTube attempts, as I would have put more effort into the videos themselves rather than trying to find better pieces of equipment. So I guess if there's a moral to this rambling, it's that you should always try to be content with what you have or what you can afford without complaining about not having enough. Unless, of course, you actually don't have enough. And I still don't know how to do outros, so if you enjoyed it, subscribe, like, comment. Goodbye.